What's good? What's good? I'm back. Yours truly, one and only Paul Pickett, host of the Paul Pickett Podcast, aka Triple P, aka the Common Sense Podcast, your source for music, sports, politics, sport events, and much, much more. Today, I'm going to react to, I think it's the Odd Couple talking about when Rich Paul told Stephen A. Smith that LeBron being second best in history is insulting. That That's what's really insulting. Thinking that statement is insulting. But before we get into this, I'm gonna give you a word from promopalace.biz.
Music marketing and promotion? Then look no further than Promo Palace LLC, your one-stop shop for all music promotion services. Services include Spotify playlist pitching, YouTube video promotion, record pool promotion, blog placements, radio airplay promotion, SoundCloud promotion, and much more. With over 2,000 customers and over 10 years of experience in online promotion, Promo Palace LLC is a company you can trust. For more info, please go to promopalace.biz. See you there.
That's right, you heard a beautiful lady. If you need online marketing promotions for your music, product, brand, or service, please go to promopalace.biz. You see it scrolling below. Get marketing and promotions at promopalace.biz. All right, let's get into it. I think this is Rob Parker and somebody else. No Chris Broussard on this one, I don't think.
LeBron's agent, the super agent, and all this stuff had some sound, and this was a story about LeBron James and whether or not he's the GOAT, and if people don't think he's the GOAT or not. He had some words for people. Let's hear this.
You got LeBron. He used to drive me crazy with this. And that's why I came up with the tick on television. When I said, great dad, great husband, great director, great actor, great businessman. I did all of that. I said, did I miss anything? Did I miss anything? Because I got him as the second best player in the history of basketball. I got him ahead of Kareem. I got him behind no one but Jordan. And I said to Mr. Chirper himself, Rich Paul, my boy, and I said, you act like that's an insult. This dude, it is an insult. I said, get the out of my face. Get the out of my face. Exactly what I said to him. I don't want to talk to you no more. You can't talk to me about it. When you going to treat me like I'm disrespecting a man by calling him in the history of the game that started in 1947, you're going to tell me that I am disrespecting a man by having him number 2 all the time. You have lost your damn mind. I'm not talking to you.
And Stephen A. is 100% on point. That was the Paul George podcast. What is it called? Project P or something?
Podcast P.
Podcast P for Paul
Podcast P. Really? Come on, man.
George. But let me start here, Dave. Rich Paul, this is where you become too close to it. I get it. He's your boy. He put you on, and you can't look and be honest about anything. But to say being considered number 2 behind Michael Jordan is insulting is totally ridiculous. And that's why.
Let me chime in real quick, man. First of all, I think that's totally fake when you can't never be biased. You act like you can't never, you got to always be biased because it's LeBron. I would never want people around me like that. I would never want people who are going to just lie to be biased. You know, I want my friends in my circle to be honest 1,000% of the time, you know. And yeah, being second best in the NBA or the NFL or NHL or Major League Baseball or second best actor or second best rapper or singer, being the second best at anything in the world is not an insult. It's not an insult. Everybody can't be numero uno. Somebody got to be number 2. Yeah, being second best is not an insult. And Rich Paul is just going to be biased towards LeBron to the day he dies. He's never gonna totally be honest about the situation. It just goes to show you how fake he is as a human being. You know what I'm saying? Because it's phony. Because you're not being honest, man. I don't care. You know, some people go like, "Nah, man. You know, he's sticking up for his boy. That's not phony. That's not fake." Paul Pickett podcast. You know, that's not fake. Yeah, it is. If you're not being honest, then you're being fake. Let's keep it moving.
You can't listen to people who are not objective, who have skin in the game, who are friends, buddies. You know, you see this a lot of times. You know, people don't like the writers and the other people who are not Dave attached to the game, but that's the reason why. You need independent thinkers who are not buddies with people, and that's what this is. It's not an
who are not biased. Yeah, like you can't take the word of a biased opinion. You can't take it on face value or any kind of value when it's biased. You know, Skip Bayless is like that towards the Cowboys, you know, or Tom Brady, or, you know, he's biased against LeBron, you know. And I don't know, like, I don't know that I will put LeBron at number 2 all the time. I think the fact that I really disliked Kobe when he played the game made me really overlook how much he wanted to win, how hard he wanted to win, and he did win 5 with the same organization, 3 with Shaq and 2 with Pau Gasol. Um, I might would have to put Kobe over LeBron, just because the simple fact that LeBron had to go, like, he always had to go where the talent was at. You know, like Kobe got drafted and the talent came to him. He never left. He played with the same team forever. I would probably put Kobe over LeBron. I really would. But like now, if LeBron wins another championship, though, then we could be talking about a different argument here. But Michael Jordan's the GOAT. I'm sorry.
insult. It's unbelievable that LeBron is number 2 when you think about all the great players who have played in the NBA. And look at this. I don't know what's up. And look at this. So many of his own peers don't even have him, Dave, in their top 10. Like peers, guys who play with LeBron. I think that's disrespectful not to have him in the top 10 or think he's one of the 2 or 3 greatest players of all time. But to say being behind Michael Jordan is disrespectful is just nuts to me.
So, Rob, Stephen A. was literally one question away from really getting into it. He should have asked Rich Paul, what exactly is disrespectful? What are we talking about? Are we talking about the full scope of the LeBron James experiment? Or are we just talking about championships or who scored the most points? What are we talking about here? Because when I look at LeBron, Rob, I think LeBron is a special player, special person. Has there ever been another guy like LeBron? Or the next guy coming is there anybody coming up right now that we say, man, he a lot like LeBron?
No, not for what LeBron does.
For what LeBron does,
right?
Right. So LeBron's special. But we could say, well, has there ever been another guy like Michael? And what's the first thing people say? Oh, Kobe. We've seen the closest thing to Michael Jordan.
Well, because Kobe emulated Michael, even the way he sounded, walked. You know that.
Listen, Rob.
Which means Michael set the standards. You know, this is why I've totally figured out why Michael Jordan is the GOAT. you gotta look at Magic and Bird. They say save basketball, but they weren't working out as hard as Jordan. Man, I'm talking about like every single aspect of the game: free throws, mid range, post up, handles, defense. I mean, if there was a weakness that Jordan saw in his game, he was working on it. He set the standards of how hard you had to work to be considered the GOAT. 6-time champion, 6-0. Never let a single team get to a game 7 in the NBA Finals. 6 games or less every single time. And then also a lot of people under the impression that not the Bulls, but the championship he won for the Tar Heels, that it was the last resort. He was like the last resort because everybody else was double teamed or triple teamed or whatever. No, Jordan was the first resort. That play was designed for him as a freshman, and he started as a freshman, which um, Dean Smith didn't start a lot of freshmen before that.
There's a lot of guys and a lot of youngsters try to emulate
You
Mike.
remember the commercial? I want to be like Mike. You remember that?
You can want to be like Mike
Right.
all you want to. You can try to emulate all you want to. But we've seen the closest thing to Michael Jordan. And that's why you have a lot of people that would put Kobe number 2.
There's no doubt about that. There's a big Kobe faction out there.
Here's what's unfair, in my opinion, is stop comparing Michael Jordan to LeBron James. And I think it's unfair. And then I also think, too, you and I, we didn't see Oscar Robertson.
Right.
I mean, I was fortunate to be around some of the older players, some Knicks, and they were talking about how great Oscar Robertson was. He's not even on my radar. But from what I understand, Oscar Robertson was a great player. But we grew up in the era of Jordan, right?
No, I agree. Wait a minute. I'm going to stop because I'm going to say this to you. As a baseball player, you didn't see Babe Ruth play. But you know this guy was a special player. Would you at least acknowledge that?
They told me he was special.
Okay, they did.
Yes.
But when you saw the numbers and you know what went on,
Yep.
you don't go, no, he wasn't. Nobody. I've never, even today when they do a baseball list, he's always on that list.
Yeah.
Because his numbers were so much better than everybody else.
Do they say he's the best player ever?
No,
though?
no.
Exactly.
And you don't get that, but he's in that list.
Okay.
And I think it's wrong that players of today try to discount all the older players who came before them, because if you put Babe Ruth with the nutrition and the travel and he was an athlete. You know this, Dave. Eye-hand coordination is in the major leagues. It's the hardest thing to do.
Obviously, he was a great player. He was the best of whatever was available at that time.
At that time,
he was one of the if not the greatest, one of the greatest of that time. Correct. What I'm saying when you talk about LeBron and you talk about Jordan, we grew up during Jordan.
Sure.
And my joke is if Jordan makes it to the arena, if I look out there and I see Jordan in the layup line, I know we're winning.
And see,
we're going 6 for 6. You see, special. Here's the question I would ask you.
Okay.
And I would ask anyone listening. Give me your 4. Give me your 4 best. I'll give you my 4 best. We're going to reserve the 5th spot for either Jordan or LeBron. Okay, now, once we get to the 5th spot, you can talk all you want to. We got one game. It's game 7.
You already know.
Who are you going with? Jordan or LeBron?
And it's going to be Jordan 9 out of 10 times.
Everybody that grew up with Jordan is going to say Jordan.
Right, but even people today, they understand how great LeBron is, but you don't have those moments, clutch moments. Dave, I covered that game in Cleveland where he made that shot against Craig Elo.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sitting
Yeah.
on the floor.
Yeah.
I watched both Michael's career and LeBron's career in my 37 years. I was covering the NBA then before I started covering baseball.
Jordan is the greatest champion between the two of them.
Greatest champion, but he's the greatest player. Greatest player. If you watch The Last Dance,
yeah,
you saw what he told Steve Kerr, right?
I know.
It wasn't like he gave up the basketball because he was afraid to shoot it.
Yeah.
What did he say? Steve, be ready.
No, I got you.
That's what I'm talking about. I don't think everybody feels the same with LeBron when he gives up the ball late in the game, Dave, because they feel like he don't want it. He don't want to get fouled and have to make free throws with the game on the line like that.
And bam, I like where Rob Parker's going. That's the difference between Jordan and LeBron. Jordan's always had that killer instinct in him. 28 points a game as a rookie. He's always had that killer instinct in him ever since he got cut as a freshman. LeBron didn't really. LeBron had the killer instinct in him somewhat before he got to Miami, but he just couldn't put the dagger in the heart. He had to go to Miami. They had to teach him how to really become a champion. I mean, he did go to play against the Spurs in the finals, but he got literally swept. He's lost 2 or 3 against Tim Duncan. Tim Duncan has won 66% of the championships he's played against LeBron. 3 of LeBron's championship games were against Tim Duncan. Then you've had 3 or 4 against Curry, Durant, and Westbrook and them. And to be honest with you, Durant and Westbrook and them, if they're actually more experienced and older, they possibly could win that. They actually overachieved. They got there kind of super early. Durant, Westbrook, and Harden, man, they were super duper young. Yeah, I've heard enough of this one, man. Just being number 2 at anything is not insulting. And if LeBron goes down as the second greatest of all time, what's wrong with that? What's wrong with that? And if Jordan goes down as the second greatest of all time, what's wrong with that? But for right now, I would have to say Jordan is the GOAT. He's the greatest of all time. Rich Paul, he needs to calm down. He ain't no taller than me. Stop being biased, man, and be honest, man. Just because he's your homie, don't mean you gotta be untruthful about this situation. Once again, thank you for tuning in, Paul Pickett Podcast, and I'm out.